Today, we have some unbelievable news that could change the financial landscape for millions of Americans. Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Feeling the weight of inflation and soaring living costs? Well, what if I told you that former President Donald Trump is making a bold move to bring back the $2,000 stimulus checks? That's right. In a stunning announcement, Trump is proposing a new plan that could see these checks arriving as early as February 2025. But what does this mean for you, the hardworking American? Stick around as we dive deep into the details of this proposal, the potential implications, and how you could benefit from it all. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss an update from us. Let's get started by exploring why Trump has decided to revisit the idea of stimulus payments. As many of you know, the pandemic had a lasting impact on the economy, and while some areas are recovering, countless families are still struggling to make ends meet. Rising prices on everyday goods, housing, healthcare, these are challenges that don't just fade away overnight. In fact, they continue to weigh heavily on our collective budget. This makes Trump's proposal even more intriguing. Could this be a game changer for millions facing economic hardships? Now, you might be wondering why now? Why has Trump chosen to bring this idea back into the spotlight in 2025? With the upcoming election cycle heating up, many political analysts believe this move could be a strategic way for him to rally support among voters who are seeking financial relief. But it's not just an election tactic, this is an important discussion for Americans across the nation, irrespective of political affiliations. The fundamental question is, are we ready for another round of stimulus checks? Would they actually help alleviate the financial burden many are feeling? To understand this better, let's take a look back at the initial stimulus checks that were rolled out during the pandemic. The $1,200 and later $600 checks provided immediate relief to many, helping families pay for rent, groceries, and other essential needs. Now, imagine if that amount were increased to $2,000, how much of a difference would that make in your life? For many families, it could mean catching up on bills, affording essential healthcare, or even providing for their children's education. This isn't just a political conversation, it's about the real-life implications of economic decisions. And that's precisely why we need to dive deep into understanding the potential impact of this new proposal. But let's not forget that the road to the $2,000 stimulus checks won't be without its challenges. We know that government funding is a topic often mired in debates and disagreements. If this proposal moves forward, it would require support not only from lawmakers but also from the public. So, what do you think? Are you in favor of a new round of checks, or do you believe we should find alternative solutions to help our economy bounce back? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters, and we want to hear it. As we continue to discuss these possibilities, let's examine the wider economic implications of reinstating these stimulus payments. There are questions regarding the national deficit and how the government would fund such an initiative. Some critics argue that another round of checks could exacerbate inflation, which is already a pressing concern for many Americans. What do you think? Is more money pumped into the economy the solution we need, or will it create more problems down the line? It's a complex conversation, and your perspective is vital. Simultaneously, it's worth considering how Americans have adjusted to the economic environment since the initial checks were introduced. Many people have become adept at budgeting and finding creative ways to manage their finances. With that said, could the $2,000 boost really change the way we approach our financial lives? Imagine being able to breathe a little easier, perhaps even treating yourself or your family after all this time. Wouldn't it be nice to allow yourself some simple joys without the weight of financial stress looming over your head? However, not everyone shares the same viewpoint. There are those who believe that relying on government assistance can create a cycle of dependency. They argue that instead of handing out checks, we should focus more on job creation and long-term solutions that empower people to become financially stable. But in a system that has left many behind, is immediate relief not a valid option? We want your opinion on this. Comment below and let us know what you think could be the best way forward. Now, let's get back to Trump and his motivation behind this proposal. By advocating for the $2,000 stimulus checks, he's appealing directly to voters who are feeling the weight of economic uncertainty. Every day, families face decisions about how to allocate limited resources. Should they spend money on groceries, healthcare, or saving for future needs? If passed, Trump's initiative could touch the lives of millions. But will it be enough to sway the election in his favor? After all, in politics, financial relief has historically been a powerful motivator for voters. While we speculate on the political angle, we also need to acknowledge the human aspect of this proposal. The $2,000 stimulus check isn't just a line item in a budget, it represents a lifeline for families trying to navigate unprecedented challenges. When financial stability feels like a distant dream, any opportunity for relief is welcomed. So we must ask ourselves, what do you really think would happen if Trump's proposal actually came to fruition? Would it bring hope and change for struggling families in America, or further complicate our economic recovery? If you're starting to feel hopeful about the potential of these checks, you're not alone. Countless Americans share your sentiment, believing that financial relief can be transformative. However, let's flip the conversation for a moment. What if these checks do arrive, but the government fails to implement long-term solutions alongside them? The checks could provide temporary relief, but without addressing the root causes of financial instability, aren't we just creating a cycle of dependency? This brings us to another critical point: the importance of a comprehensive approach to economic recovery. Providing stimulus checks is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Developing programs that support job training, affordable housing, mental health resources, and education initiatives are equally important. But can we really rely solely on our elected officials to craft a holistic economic recovery plan? Or do we need to take matters into our own hands to advocate for ourselves and our communities? As we ponder these questions, let's take a moment to consider the mixed reactions to Trump's proposal. Supporters may see this as a bold step towards recovery and a clear indication that he's listening to the concerns of Americans. On the flip side, critics may argue that it's merely a political maneuver aimed at securing votes. Whatever the case may be, one thing is certain: this conversation will dominate headlines in the coming years, and it's essential for us to stay informed and engaged. If you're still with me, you've likely realized that this proposal has implications far beyond the potential for cold hard cash in your pocket. It raises questions about the very structure of our economy, how we support those in need, and what it truly means to build a society that works for all of us. What vision do you have for America's economic future? Is it one where stimulus payments are a regular occurrence, or do you envision a stronger foundation built on opportunity and resilience? Before we wrap up, we want to emphasize that your voice matters. This is a pivotal moment, and your opinions on this issue can help shape the conversation around stimulus payments and economic recovery. Don't hesitate to comment below with your thoughts and experiences. What would a $2,000 stimulus check mean for you and your family? How do you envision our economy moving forward, and what role do you believe government assistance should play in that landscape? As we look ahead, there's no doubt we'll be keeping an eye on this developing story. If you want to stay up to date on all the latest news, policy updates, and economic discussions, make sure you're subscribed. It's our mission to bring you insightful content that helps you navigate this complex world. And remember, your engagement in this conversation is what makes our community strong. In the coming weeks, we'll be digging even deeper into the implications of Trump's proposal, analyzing expert opinions, and bringing you the latest updates. So buckle up, there's a lot more to come. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and remember, the discussion continues in the comments. What are your thoughts on the return of the $2,000 stimulus check? We can't wait to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and hit that notification bell so you are always informed about the latest developments. Until next time, take care and stay informed.